Hey, Charles, can you talk about what that mood might be with New York, man? Because, again, you talk about a team that's, struggled to win a game. They're trading away some of their best players. I mean, I was absolutely floored that they traded away Snacks because, again, I know they've been giving up some yards on the ground, but still, everyone recognizes Snacks as one of the best defensive players they got on that team. To trade them away for what they got, I think it was a fifth-round pick, I was blown away by that, and I'm sure that does not sit well with the current players on that team.
Well, you probably have seen the tweets from Landon Collins and, Devon Kennard, who's in Detroit now, played with the Giants, was like, yeah, hey! So Landon hit him back with, go to sleep, bro. All right, enough out of you. Don't want to hear it. So, no, I'm sure the players aren't happy because Snacks is pretty popular there. But go back and look at the number of plays, his percentage of plays, James.
Okay.
And that's going to tell you a big reason about what's going on. Yes, he's one of the elite run defenders in the game, but he's not playing that much or nearly what you would expect him to be playing. And noted, they're still not stopping the run, and that's what he's supposed to be there to solidify.
Right.
And the last but not least that no one's going to talk about, he's got a very unwieldy contract. And for them to make moves and to get better, they got to get rid of some of that. Detroit, which still has designs on getting in it in the NFC North because no one has taken off and just elevated yet, not totally. Well, what have they been really bad at this year? Run defense.
Yeah.
And Matt Patricia has been around as a defensive coordinator. What has kept his team throughout time? Big guys inside who can stop the run and help them out everywhere else. He's kind of looking at Snacks Harrison as an investment in that to get things going for his new program in Detroit. So it makes sense for both sides in a lot of ways, especially when you're 1-6. There are going to be other players they're going to talk about. I mean, you all you got to do is read it. I mean, I'm reading the stuff getting ready. Janoris Jenkins' name keeps popping up.
Right.
Olivier Vernon's name pops up, although I don't see that one as coming because of the way the contract is structured, so that'd be a real surprise. And, of course, the big conversation is when do they actually make a move with Eli? Because last year's regime, as you guys remember, they drafted Davis Webb, the kid out of Colorado, third round. They decide they need to see him late. They need to see another quarterback late in the season, so they bench Eli and kill the streak of 210 straight starts, which he was very proud of. And they start Geno Smith. So the first one, you sit down, you have your hard conversation with your veteran quarterback. We're going nowhere. This is what we want to do. And I'm sure they could have come up with a pretty good deal with him. I really think that. I think when they said we're going to bench you for Geno Smith, that went right out the window. Because
that's right.
Because you got to bench him with a plan, and Geno Smith is not a plan. You've got tape on Geno Smith. You've seen him in the league. Find out if your rookie can play. This year, they drafted Kyle Lauletta, fourth-round kid out of Richmond. He's been inactive every game. So behind the scenes, they have to start ramping that up and deciding if they're going to play him, which I think they have to, because they passed on every quarterback in last year's draft. They got to find out if they've got an investment in Lauletta before they go into next year's draft. So when do they pull the plug on Eli? When do they have this conversation? I'd say behind closed doors, the people who run the team are having that conversation. I think this week's game is probably, after it's over, that conversation ramps up into high gear.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.